Just brilliant. Just brilliant.
Good evening. Christmas has come early after a record-breaking day in the Premier League with the most goals ever scored on a six-game Saturday. Ian Wright and Danny Murphy are very excited. We start at the King Power Stadium. Champions Leicester began the day just 2 points above the bottom three. Manchester City were the visitors. Pep Guardiola's side still smarting from defeat against title rivals Chelsea. Your commentator, Jonathan Pearce.
If Leicester are to rediscover the form of champions, now that Champions League group games are out of the way, this would be the perfect day with Manchester City weakened by suspensions. A year ago this week, Jamie Vardy was scoring for a 12th league game of a remarkable 13-match run. He hasn't netted now, though, in 16 outings. And though Claudio Ranieri names an unchanged side from last weekend's defeat at Sunderland, the coach has warned them not even the big players can win without fight. Manchester City are without Aguero, Fernando and Otamendi banned. Sagna, Zabaleta, Fernando and Iheanacho come into the team beaten by Chelsea. All four players played against Celtic in the week. 20-year-old Iheanacho has scored 5 in 5 league games when Aguero has been missing. They haven't lost at Leicester since 1988. Interesting start for Manchester City. We start with a centre-back three again. De Bruyne wide on this left-hand side and Navas on the right, effectively as wing-backs. Booth won that. Vardy, edge of the penalty area, in on goal, end of the scoring drought. Leicester City take the lead in the 3rd minute. Boy, he's waited for that. More changes to his defence. And more defensive woe. 2 clean sheets in 15 league games for Manchester City. Not good enough. Space in behind. Oh, he loves that. Perfectly taken. Leicester lead. Vardy back in business. And when the din is as cacophonous as it is now, this is a special place. Now, they've been saying for weeks that form would improve in the league once they finish those group games. And this is the sort of game that could really kick-start their Premier League season. Fuchs with the long throw into the box. Little not on. Slimani was in there with a set-up. And 2! What a cracking start for Leicester City. Andy King with a special. 2 goals in the first 5 minutes. Should Bravo have been beaten from that range? There was a lovely arc on the shot from Andy King. It was bending, there was a little bit of dip, and it was fizzing as well. Well struck. The goalkeeper saw it, and I think purists might say he could have done better. But this was a beautiful effort. Bending away from him. I think that's a top strike. Manchester City seem to have changed again. Zabaleta's moved away to a right-back position. Sagna and Stones, the centre-back, Kolarov the left-back, and Fernando playing deeper. It's a lovely ball away, out towards Mahrez. Here's Vardy, it's 3! How about that for counter-attacking football? Leicester once again are in dreamland, and the nightmares of recent weeks can be forgotten. Advent, time of hope, time of expectancy. But for Claudio Bravo and Manchester City, today is a time of misery. He's certainly having a party today. What a lovely pass by Fuchs to start it all off. Great long ball, sought out Mahrez, the quick touch on. Bravo left exposed by his defence. Leicester City have scored 3 against Manchester City in the opening 20 minutes. While Leicester City was celebrating, by the way, all their fans were applauding a young 19-year-old season ticket holder, Jack Meredith, who tragically lost his life. He won't abandon his football theories and philosophies, that's for certain. Fernanda. Another poor ball, and again Leicester can counter. Albrighton, Mahrez. The champions are on fire. Still Mahrez. Good save, Bravo. This time Mahrez denied by Claudio Bravo. Needed a big save. Navas, who stabs it out. Zabaleta, Gundogan, deflected off Mahrez, comes to De Bruyne, and Simpson was back to cover. Bruyne into the near post, flicked on by Fernando. Oh, and that's a miss. Kolarov, big chance for Manchester City at a crucial time. If that one had gone in, we'd have had a completely different game on our hands. Still got an hour left. They've yet to have a shot on target, Manchester City. King. And again, hesitancy by Manchester City in their own third. Mahrez, lovely weighted pass. Albright with a cross back. Slimani, it should have been 4. Lovely move by Leicester City. Sensible cross. A bad miss this. Such a strong player in the air. That picture sums it all up. Guardiola's pushed Silva right up now alongside Iheanacho rather than playing slightly deeper. Gundogan. They've worked the ball well. Iheanacho comes to Zabaleta. Good block by Boots, and the second big block, this time from De Bruyne. Shoots wide, looks to the referee. He felt that Albrighton blocked his effort with a hand. Big penalty shout here from this one. Arm was down by his side. His point of the elbow came out. There. De Bruyne shouted loud. Michael Oliver unmoved. Leicester City fans are finding their voices. Javier Ranieri in the local press here yesterday was urging them to give maximum support, to be the 12th man. Here's De Bruyne. Zabaleta wide to the right-hand side, fed now to attack in the box. Iheanacho's in there, so too Silva. Could take back to goal. Comes to Iheanacho, and there's Gundogan. Oh, he tried to place it inside the post, just wide. Not his day, is it? Came in by a curious route. Iheanacho, the good setup, just steered wide. Here's Mahrez, fed by King, outstripping Kolarov. Stones across the cover. Oh, it's a risky back pass. Vardy's there from a terrible angle, and very nearly hat-trick. Was it over? It's a hat-trick from an impossible angle. Samuel thought he cleared it away. The Leicester City have a 4th against Manchester City. From another City mistake, they get another goal. John Stones, back pass was short, around the goalkeeper and over the line, off the post, over it went. From that tight angle, what a wonderful finish. Sanya did his best. And the goal line technology says, Vardy hat-trick. Back with a bang. The drought and doldrums over. Leicester City have roared back in champion-style form. Jamie Vardy's first ever Leicester City hat-trick. Here's Silva. Boots went to ground rashly. No need to make that sort of tackle there at this stage of the game. Body's back, didn't need to make the tackle. Kolarov with it. That's a lovely, lovely goal for Manchester City. And a last something to celebrate, even if he is not willing to do so. Beautiful bending free kick. I think Zila gives himself too much to do here. It's Leicester City 4, Manchester City 1. Some consolation for Manchester City, but not a great deal. Sterling on the run. Kolarov's outside him. He's Had a decent game, Kolarov coming forward. De Bruyne, Zabaleta made a good run into the box unseen. In towards Nolito, they've got another! Where would they have been if they started him through the middle as a spearhead? Something he might ponder on. The intensity has gone from Leicester's game, and as a result, Manchester City have another one back, and it's a fine finish by Nolito. But it's Vardy's day, it's Leicester's day, at last.
We just wanted to make sure that we're competitive today, and we wanted to make sure that you saw the team fighting for the cause, and I think as you've seen out there, we've definitely done that.
We knew how they move the ball, all the triangles they try to do, and we were very strong and very smart to slow down the tempo and attack immediately, but everybody knows what we do. But it was important also to score 2 goals very, very early.
Was it individual errors?
No. Football is a game from good things, bad things, and mistakes. And especially today, I never complain to my players, so I have to look inside of myself, what I have to do, and they have to follow me. Our game is not bad, but in the boxes we have a lot of problems.
Well, an extraordinary performance, extraordinary result in many ways, Danny. Was it a case of Leicester's brilliance or Manchester City's ineptitude?
A bit of both,
yeah.
But I think it's only fair to say that that's as good as I've seen Leicester play this season. It was like the Leicester of last season. Tenacious, creative, quick on the break.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, I knew you'd be happy. But City didn't half help them. I want to show... Pep was talking about tactics in an interview earlier today, and he said they weren't that important, but they were today. This is their average formation in the first half. Kolarov was supposed to be playing as a third centre-half, and he ended up so high up the pitch, he left Stones so isolated with Sagna. And Iheanacho, the main striker, ends up coming so deep. They were all over the place at times. I'm not sure this is what he intended to do. As we see at the beginning of the game, it looks like a normal back three, which they've played before. You've got the midfield 3 in front, which looks pretty normal. That's fine. Yep. Zabaleta was playing in this weird in-between position, and I'm not even sure he knew what he was doing there. Maybe it was a tactic for Albrighton, I'm not sure. And then he had De Bruyne, strangely, as a left wing-back, which I didn't think was particularly useful for them, and Navas on the other side. But what happened was, what Kolarov, as I said, was coming so high. When Leicester do win the ball back, like last season, they broke so quickly, but the space... Zabaleta in a position, no man's land, but the space here that Stones had to cover on his own. Lack of communication, he should be telling Kolarov to get back. You can't be one-on-one with Mahrez, he can kill you, and he was superb today as well. Again, poor clearance. Leicester first on the second ball. Back 3, not in a great line. You've got De Bruyne, not sure, do I go back and defend? Zabaleta, what am I doing here again in this position? It is good play, but the communication and the lack of line that they're showing there is pretty bad, I have to say. And it's not just about Kolarov, but he did get punished because he was playing his own game, going forward so often. I don't know why Stones isn't telling him to get back, because he's the one who's looking isolated and vulnerable. This is Leicester of last season. Great break, great touch. They gave Leicester so many opportunities to attack them, and actually could have been more.
Yeah. Well, there he is, Jamie Vardy. Yes. 16 games for Leicester without a goal in all competitions. Comes back with a hat-trick. It must be tough going 16 games without. What's that like?
I know. I broke my leg in 1990. It was a nightmare. But, like, you know something? When you consider that Mahrez, it's the first assist he's got from Mahrez since February. Yeah. And they beat Liverpool 3-0. You can just imagine what he's having to deal with. But, you know, this is what he's all about. On the shoulder, great pass from Slimani there, and that's the finish. The goalkeeper doesn't look that big. I'm not going to blame the goalkeeper, but, like, you know, somebody hasn't scored that long. He's just got his head down, bang. And this, again, he's in there. This touch is what that's just superb.
Exquisite.
And, you know, now, you know, he's in the mood now. He's ready to go, and that's what he was doing. He's picking up the scraps. He's on shoulders, and he's finishing like that. I was really delighted for him. And this one, you know, you have to feel a bit for John Stones. You know, it was one of those days for him, like we just saw with Kolarov, leaving him a bit isolated. But this is brilliant. He's got to fall down to get the angle, and he just squeezes it in. Absolutely delighted for him. Absolutely delighted for him. Goal.
Yeah, it's funny, once you get one, they just come back, don't they? It's remarkable how that happens. And Well, there you have it. Leicester's leading all-time Premier League scores. Of course, football didn't exist before.
I was going to say, I'm sure you got the Premier League.
Might have just sneaked on top of that one otherwise. But anyway, there we go. But Manchester City, where are they? Where's Pep now? That's 2 games, consecutive league games. They've conceded 3 goals. First time in Guardiola's managerial career that's happened.
50 changes they've made. That's more than anybody else this season. I don't care how good a player you are. It's nice to have some relationships, get some normality in the formation, the people you're playing with. You can't keep changing the team and tactics every week.
OK. You have to go back to 1981 for the last time Stoke won in the league at Arsenal. Mark Hughes' side have yet to earn even a point at the Emirates in 8 previous visits. John Motson, watch this one.
There's plenty of talk regarding a mega-bucks deal for Alexis Sanchez, but today Arsenal's top scorer plays for free. The Gunners squad each donate a day's wages to the Arsenal Foundation on their annual charity day. Stoke have lost just once in 9 games, but they have lost Jonathan Walters to a training injury. So Marko Arnautovic moves into the centre and top scorer Joe Allen is back in the starting lineup. Good atmosphere inside the Emirates today. Well, there should be after the week Arsenal have had. Stoke will be out to spoil that if they can. Mustafi. Oh, he's got Walcott inside here, and Theo Walcott was inches away from a century of goals in club football. 99, most of them for Arsenal, a few for Southampton. Could have been 100 here. Grant down to save. Well, some people really believe that. Charlie Adam. And again. Arnautovic wants it played between the 2 defenders. It got there. And he tucks it back to Joe Allen. Oh, chance. That was an opportunity for Joe Allen to score his 5th goal of the season for Stoke. Just unable to hit the target. Shaqiri. Joe Allen had some space. Oh, penalty! Joe Allen was checked. It's a foul. And it's a penalty kick to Stoke City, given by Lee Mason. Xhaka is protesting, but from my position, there was contact and Allen went down, holding his head. Well, there is definite contact with the arm into the face, but I think the view that Lee Mason has taken is that it wasn't intended to be as bad as that, but the fact of the matter is the referee has awarded Stoke City a penalty kick. Petr Cech trying to make himself as big as possible, but you don't stop those. Charlie Adam, beautifully done. 1-0 Stoke. I don't think the referee can be blamed for that decision because the force of the arm was definitely into Allen's face. But Charlie Adam made no mistake from the spot. Oh, Mark Hughes' team have been showing improved form in recent weeks. Are they going to maintain it here? Now, nobody's offside here. It's Joe Allen there. Oh, shoving his man out the way. And Arnautovic for Stoke. This could be 2-0. No. Arsenal were fortunate there. Joe Allen, maybe a small in stature, but my goodness, he used his body weight there. And Arnautovic, I think, should have scored. Ozil, Monreal, Coquelin, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Bellerin. Well, Arsenal are stringing the passes together here. Oh, that's a good one. Bellerin here. Oh, it's in Walcott. And that's number 100 in club football for Theo Walcott. 95 for Arsenal and 5 for Southampton. And Arsenal are level at 1-1.
beautifully done this. Oh, just a little nudge at the near post to Bellerin's cross by Walcott. And your mind goes back to the Stoke chance a minute or two earlier, when it could so easily have been 2-0. Instead, it's 1-1. Coquelin. Oh. Still this passing game, trying to wear Stoke down. Bellerin. Oh, Oxlade-Chamberlain having a period here where he's very much at the thick of it. A dramatic end to this first half. Shaqiri. Arnautovic. Stoke in a good possession here. This is Juve. Very good possession. Shaqiri. Peters came in on the far post there, and he seems to have pulled something at the back of his thigh now. Well, Peters doesn't look in very good shape here. Maybe that they're hedging their bets a bit here, Stoke. But there's no obvious replacement among the subs. Arsenal attack the... Oh, there's a chance here! And it's in! It's Ozil who puts Arsenal in front for the first time. But they were playing against 10 men when it happened. Or 10 fit men anyway. Peters couldn't intervene. And Ozil, who's been in good form recently, that's his 9th goal of the season. Look at that, Ozil has come ahead of 3 defenders there and nodded that over Grant. Good anticipation by the Arsenal player. No chance for the goalkeeper in that position. Peters is just coming back on the pitch. Having been treated, he could do nothing about defending there. And Arsenal lead 2-1. Well, that's really turned the match round, hasn't it? Shaqiri with Glenn Johnson just jogging up. Might be able to do a bit of damage there, and he's found Allen. Corner Stoke. Now Peter Crouch has been waiting for some time, and a corner is a perfect time for him to come on. Juve is the player going off. So can Stoke and Crouch make something of this? You'll have to be quick and get up there. And here comes Crouch now! Well, he might have scored with his first touch. Peter Crouch, still a threat. 36 next month. But look at this, just on the field for a few seconds, and he forced Petr Cech to make more than a half-decent save at the foot of the post. Here's Sanchez. Oh, and yes, it's there! It's Iwobi! The substitute has done it within 5 minutes of coming on. It's 3-1 Arsenal, and the game now is probably settled in their favour. Good use of the advantage there by referee Lee Mason. Sanchez got pulled back. Charlie Adam couldn't bring Iwobi down, and he just slid it beyond the reach of Lee Grant. Good finish. He scored in Basel on Tuesday, Iwobi, and now he scores again for Arsenal to make it 3-1 here. This is Monreal. Now, question is, has the sting gone out of this match? Walcott. Not if he has any sign, and it hasn't. Oh, turned away by Grant. Good save. Fine effort by Walcott. Certainly having one of his best games for a while, Theo Walcott here. He went nearly all the way, past 3 Stoke players, and then the goalkeeper gets an outstretched hand to it. Arsenal 3, Stoke City 1.
We had an hesitant start, you know, when you play every 3 days or 4 days, sometimes it takes you a while to get into a rhythm, and today that's what happened, and Stoke was well organised. I still think we got a very unlucky penalty because it was not even a foul, in my opinion. but we have shown again the resources. It's a few times this season now we come back from 1-0 down and win the game, so that shows some great mental strength.
A lot of teams will come here and struggle to cope with the pace and power that Arsenal have at the moment, and they're a very good side. We did okay, but on the day, not quite enough.
In terms of the penalty decision, Arsene Wenger has said no penalty. What were your thoughts?
My initial thought was a penalty, but clearly if Arsene said it wasn't, wasn't it?
You're free-flowing at the moment, not just you personally, but the side. You look in top form. Does it feel that way?
Yeah, everyone's confident, the chemistry is good, everyone's buzzing, everyone's confident. We're just up for any challenge and on to the next, really.
It's down to us to maintain the focus, the desire to improve. There's still room to do better, and that's where our future lies after. I think we have a chance to fight at the top.
Now, we regularly feature, don't we, the superstars of Arsenal, Mesut Ozil and obviously Alexis Sanchez, et al. But you're interested in the progress of Oxlade-Chamberlain.
I am, and I can see his frustration. I can feel it because he played well, Bournemouth, a couple of weeks ago, and West Ham last week. It was fantastic. And again today, he was very good, getting forward. And he's somebody that I really do admire him a lot. I just feel that his chances are too few and far between for Arsenal. He's always in and around it now. I'm seeing that he's getting a lot more further forward and making things happen for the team. But with the emergence of Iwobi, it just seems like he's not going to get that chance there.
He started the last 3, hasn't he?
He has started the last 3, but he started 7, and he's only had 90 minutes. He's only finished 90 minutes once. Now, that's got to be a frustrating thing in itself for him, because he's somebody that the way Theo has kicked in, and he's kind of like stamped his authority in the team now, Theo.
What's he got to do better to make sure he is in that team?
I don't know what more he can do. That's a great set-up for him. That's a great ball. That's a super finish by Ozil. I think that it's up to the boss to give him a run, let him have a go.
So you think he should have a good
I think so. Give him a run in it, let him have a go, because as soon as he does it, he's always being taken off.
Could it be a protective thing? 'Cause he's had a lot of injuries and maybe, fatigue injuries. Is he fit enough? He should be.
He gets a couple of those fatigue injuries, but when you watch him, you didn't see it there, but when he's so disappointed. Yes, he's had a couple of injuries that stopped him, but even when he plays well, he still gets taken off.
Assists are good. He's 6 goals, 6 assists.
He's best so far.
So far this season.
Yeah.
Danny, you're quite interested in Xhaka, a new signing, obviously, for Arsenal. Gave a penalty away that Arsene Wenger didn't think it was. Mark Hughes did until he decided that Arsene Wenger didn't think it was. But, he's an interesting player.
He was talented. He's super passer of the ball. So I watched him a lot in the Euros and noticed he had a bit of a nasty streak, which some people say you need, especially what Arsenal needed. But he's ill-disciplined at times, and although this wasn't a horrendous elbow, I still think it was a penalty, but it's stupid. Yeah. I mean, he got sent off against Swansea earlier in the season for a reckless tackle, which nearly cost him the game. If he keeps doing this type of thing, he's not going to get chosen by Wenger. In the last 2.5 years, he's been sent off 8 times. Now, in the big games, we've seen how crucial already in big games this season. You can't have ill-discipline, and it's just a little worry for me with him in the Arsenal team.
Arsenal, top of the league makes good reading for you, no doubt.
Not really at this particular time. I want to see that in May.
And do you think that's possible? Is this a better bet for this season than last season?
What's got to happen is that people have got to get to the same levels. I'm not saying the same ability as Sanchez, but the same output in respects of wanting to do it and wanting to win it. I think Arsenal got a good chance if they do that.
OK. 4 games and bags of goals still to come. After ending a run of 6 straight defeats last week with victory over Southampton, Crystal Palace were in action at Hull, who missed out on the chance to move clear of the bottom 3 against Middlesbrough on Monday.
We're underway, Middlesbrough against Hull, 2 teams who were the championship last season, 2 teams who won't want to return there at the end of this campaign.
Gaston Ramirez opens the scoring for Middlesbrough.
It's a really important 3 points for Aitor Karanka, but for Hull, troubling times. They are rooted in the relegation zone.
Guy Mowbray was at the KCOM Stadium.
Goals from forward players have been in short supply for Hull in recent weeks,
But defender Michael Dawson has done his bit, scoring in the last 2 Premier League games here. Today he plays with 2 central defensive partners. It's a change to 3-5-2 for the Tigers. It's a 4-man defence for Palace as usual, which has Martin Kelly back in for the injured James Tompkins and has Damien Delaney returning to the club he played 6 years for. He was Hull's Player of the Year in 2004. Hurry up, Mike. We're nearly ready. Zaha allowed to drift in field. Might be allowed to get a shot in too. Great run from Will Zaha. And it's tipped behind by Marshall. Well, a gap appeared for Will Zaha, and he very nearly took full advantage. What a confident, positive run that was. And Pardew's 300th Premier League game as a manager today. The 5th Englishman to that milestone, following Harry Redknapp, Sam Allardyce, Steve Bruce and Alan Kirbishley. Towards Diamande, and he's got through, and it's a good block by Hennessy. Palace defenders will look at one another quizzically, and Wayne Hennessy might say 1 or 2 things to them. First thing Hennessy's had to do, and he did it just right. I don't think I've seen Hull pass the ball with such confidence for spells for quite a few games. Robertson in. Is that a penalty? Mike Jones says it is. Snodgrass got there first. Scott Dan, you can see, is disbelieving at the decision. There have been a few fingers pointed at Snodgrass too. Oh dear, dear, dear. Scott Dan has realised and pulled out of it. And it is Robert Snodgrass who's going to try to take full advantage. Snodgrass scores, and he hammered it past Hennessy. Well, when you're in the sort of predicament that Hull City are in, 19th place, only 1 win in the last dozen Premier League games, they need a stroke of luck. They might just have had a huge one. He will be absolutely seething when he gets a chance to see that again. Zaha, punching with the dart to his right. Zaha down, and penalty for Palace. Would you believe it, it's Robert Snodgrass's turn to wag the finger of disapproval. There's Zaha, so quick in his footwork, and there's just a little touch to the ankle, and then a leg in his way. It's another one that you've got to say is on the soft side, but it's more of a penalty than the one that Hull got in the same box. Christian Benteke, and it's very coolly taken, that chance. A tale of 2 penalties at the K-Cup. And maybe a tale that's going to turn around now. That's how to do it. Christian Benteke able to roll the ball into the goal. He never took his eyes away from the movements of Marshall. Hull City 1, Crystal Palace 1. Actually feel a little for Mike Jones in the middle. He's got a thankless task ahead of him for the rest of this game. Falling like skittles in the box. Diamande on target. That's a good save by Wayne Hennessy. He might not have been expecting the shot to come in then, and it came at him quickly. He's down pretty smartly. Now Palace's turn to try to break. It's end-to-end now. Puncheon. Here's Zaha. Through to Jason Puncheon. Well saved, David Marshall. This really is anybody's game. He couldn't have hit that a lot better. Headed clear by Huddleston. Zaha. Zaha goes on. Oh, what a strike! That is a thumper from Will Zaha. You'll do well to see a ball hit that hard anywhere this weekend. All eyes wide. You think that Zaha's going to give it back to Puncheon to cross again, but he danced through. But then Will Zaha lashes at it, and it is just too ferocious for David Marshall. It's through the fingers, it's into the net. It's Hull City 1, Crystal Palace 2. An absolute rocket from Zaha. Maguire into Diamande, and Diamande's got in! Brilliant finish! The long wait for a goal for Adama Diamande is over. And what a goal it was. After 12 games without scoring, it's not so much a lucky 13, it's a quite outstanding 13. Palace will think the defending's weak. The skill and determination from Adama Diomande is exemplary. Under pressure, no room for manoeuvre, but he found the space and found the finish. And that took some doing too. Hull 2, Palace 2. Benteke, Zaha to the right. Cabaye arriving to support. Benteke down, looking for one as well. He's not the only one today. Snodgrass comes away with the ball. Diomande. And he runs into Scott Down. Here's El Mohammadi. Livermore onto it. Livermore wanders through! And strolls through to score for Hull City. The Palace defence parted. And Jake Livermore got a clear sight of goal. His eyes must have lit up wide. And Livermore kept his head nicely. Now it's up to Hull to try and keep the lead. Hull City 3, Crystal Palace 2. Mohammadi and Huddleston. Very neatly done. Now Robertson. Flicked across and only just wide. It was Sam Clucas who was close to scoring his first ever goal in the Premier League. He wanted it from the moment there was a chance of getting it. Nobody in red and blue near him. He just didn't quite make enough contact on the ball. Campbell. El Mohammadi after him. It's blocked, it's out to Punchin, and that's blocked by Huddleston. Crystal Palace corner. Friars has got to go back and keep tabs on Diomande. Hull have not brought everybody back. Not quite. It's Punchin with the corner. And Benteke went for it and went flying. Not with any Hull assistance in Mike Jones' view. Pardew clearly thought it was. There's Ledley. Punchin, chased by Clucas. Zaha, Palace need more magic from him now. It's a great ball in! And it's headed in by Fraser Campbell. Level again at the KCOM Stadium. And right on cue, they did get another spark from Will Zaha. Floated in to perfection for Fraser Campbell. And the former Hull loanee might just have snatched 2 points away from Hull City. Hull City 3, Crystal Palace 3.
It's really, really hard when you go into that dressing room and they all know exactly where they've let themselves down, but they also know that they've worked really, really hard to get a result. So I'm annoyed, I'm disappointed, my staff are, because at that point of 3-2 you think you've got your 3 points, and it would have been a great win for us at home. It didn't work out that way, but I'm not going to get myself really down about it. We've a lot of games to go. We've drawn another game, we're at home again, and we're keeping a run going at home.
From my point of view, some contentious decisions today which your analysts can go over. The first goal, I do feel genuinely sorry for the referee. Scotty goes to ground, the player has really fabricated that, and that really frustrates me as a manager and us as players, of course, and the reaction was what it was.
Did he dive? Well, you said so. So the referee didn't feel that way, and we take the penalty.
There was 2 decisions second half, which I think he's got to see. One's right in front of him, the tackle from Huddleston, and then Dawson is all over Christian, holds him back, and he was looking straight at that. But there was an absolutely magnificent performance today on that football pitch from Zaha. He was sublime all day. They couldn't cope with him, and the goal was obviously will be a contender for goal of the season, but to have the whole team in front of you and take it on and put it where he did was really quite remarkable.
Indeed, 36 goals in Crystal Palace's last 7 Premier League games. Very entertaining stuff. And for the positive tally, as you just said there, for the form of Wilfried Zaha today was exceptional, wasn't it?
He was brilliant, best I've seen him. He had purpose, pace. He looked like he had a point to prove. He's had some stick in the past, as we know, on this show. But from the minute one, he was at it. They couldn't cope with him. He was pacey, positive. He just looked so strong and fit. This is a nice little reverse, doesn't admire his pass. Gets off on his toes to try and get the return. Poor ball. But his intent was there. And the longer the game wore on, the more he became influential, doing his defensive duties as well, which sometimes has been something he's been lacking in. Decision-making was good, when to pass today, when to dribble. This is him getting his team back in the game. Final third, can he produce? Can he do anything? Yes. Couldn't coat him, got the penalty there. And this is the goal. I mean, really is a special goal.
Petrified of him.
Yeah, and this is what you want to see him do more. He's had a hand in, I think, 9 goals. I think he scored 3 and 6 assists this season, which is much better than where he was at last season. That is a fantastic strike. And you know, his crossing sometimes can let him down. He's obviously been working on it. This is a nice little ball in and gets Palace back in the game, but you can see his disappointment there, and I understand why, because he gave everything to them.
He did. Alan Pardew says our analysts must have a look at the contentious decisions as he described them, and so we better do as we're told, and you can have a look at them in. I mean, the Snodgrass one is, well, it's ridiculous.
Well, he dived. You know, Mike Phelan saying, we said he dived here, and he has mentioned that he's tried to ride it. He's not tried to ride that. He's just gone down. He's taken a touch. He's expecting Scott Dan to tackle him. He's not tackled him, and you know Scott Dan. We saw the way he's protesting. He took the penalty pretty well. But Scott Dan was absolutely fuming. It was terrible. And this, Alan Pardew's right. And when you're under the kind of pressure Alan Pardew's under, you need this kind of luck. The referee's not giving this. He's right. Look, he's kicked in there. Stage. That's a penalty. And even the next one.
Not sure about this one.
Well, you know, it's one of those, but we're still talking about one of the best headers in the Premier League. The referee's right there. He can see it. He's got a good run at it. He's had a good run at Dawson. Dawson doesn't even get off the ground. And, it could be given. You know, and I think that Palace and what they're going through, they need that. Yes, Wilfred's playing unbelievably, but they need the referees to do their bit.
It's not good enough.
Robert Snodgrass has done a tweet. Apologies from my end. It was never a penalty, but genuinely thought defender was going to slide, so tried to ride the tackle. If he knew it was genuinely not a penalty, perhaps he could have deliberately missed his penalty because he did indeed take it. Now that would be nice. And we saw Dele Alli last week, didn't he? Ridiculous dive as well. And Snodgrass. What does the game do about it? We've got to stamp this out.
They've got to look back at
retrospective action. They can't do that at the moment.
You can't, and you can in Scotland. You can't here, which I find bizarre. And unless we have some retrospective punishment for these type of obvious things, some are a bit more contentious, it's going to carry on happening. It's not acceptable. It's really not.
Entertaining game, and well played both sides. Everton's early season optimism has dissipated in recent weeks after a run of just 1 win in 9. Ronald Koeman's side were in action at Watford, who themselves have lost 3 of their last